Good afternoon. Welcome back to 2A Women Wednesday. I have a very special guest on today. It's Angelina from owlandanchor.com. This is a lady that I am happy to call a friend, whether she would consider me a friend or not. If she does, she probably doesn't want to admit it. But awesome lady doing amazing work in 2A. Nothing that you're probably going to think of. Recently we've had on different content creators. We've had on activists and trainers and things like that. But she's doing some other work that you can wear, purchase, hang outside, all kinds of good stuff. So, with that being said, Angelina, how are you? And if you could, tell us how you got to doing what you're doing and what it is.
Hey, and thanks for having me here. It's fun to be a part of the girl show. Um, I do shit. I mean, what do I do? I guess, like at the heart, Alan Anchor does marketing. That's the company. Um, and we primarily make swag, stickers, patches, flags, table covers, business cards, pretty much anything print related for the 2A community. We got into that because people actually had um, a rough time finding companies that would make stickers for them because they were firearm, associated. So I kind of fell into a niche with that. I didn't really start out, um, thinking that we would be so heavily involved in that industry, but it just kind of spiraled. And I like guns, so it was kind of a cool fit to um, kind of work in the industry in an interesting position, I guess we'll say.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, really, you just saw a void in the market and you decided to fill it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was a necessary because I mean, if you want to talk about equality, all businesses need equal access to marketing materials. So yeah, it was a good fit, and I ended up making a lot of friends in the industry, and now it's always cool when like you buy some firearm product and you get like your own sticker or patch back in the mail. So that's cool.
Oh, definitely. So, um, how'd you get into doing the stickers and patches and all that? I mean, did you go to school for graphic design and have this great idea, since you were in high school or college, or is it something that you just kind of fell into while endeavoring for something else?
I actually, so I got an interest in graphic design when I was in high school. And that was probably around the year 2000 when this all happened. So, like, forever ago now. And anyway, I got placed into a graphic design class at my high school. And it was kind of an interesting class because the teacher really sucked at it. But it was good enough for all of us that sucked. So they started teaching us like Illustrator and Photoshop on a Mac. And I really, really liked it. And I thought, like, this is awesome. Like, because I'm like so shit at drawing, dude. Like, I can't draw a stick figure. But on the computer, like with, the mouse and all that, or trackpad even, I can make pretty okay things. So I really liked it. And then, my class was like 45 minutes or whatever once a day. And that just wasn't enough time. So I went home and do you remember I think it was Napster or LimeWire? Do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
So and I mean, I think the statute of limitations is probably up on this, but I like pirated Photoshop and Illustrator. And then from then
Awesome.
on, I was like, making flyers for my friends' bands and like photoshopping people's heads onto things and just like general fuckery that you think I probably do. Um, but that's how I got into that. And then when it came time to go to college, I initially went for graphic design. And then I one day was like, you know what, this is bullshit. I'm never going to make any money doing this. Like, this is just a waste of my fucking time. So I switched my major to law. And then joke's on me because guess who does graphic design and like zero law now?
Uh, you know,
Yeah.
hindsight.
Yeah. Yeah. So from there, I actually used to work at a store in the mall that will remain nameless. And outside was a little cart that made die cut decals. And I thought it was seriously the coolest thing I had ever seen. And I would talk this guy into allowing me time to play with his machines in exchange for employee discounts on the products we sold at the store. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I really liked it. And then I, bought the equipment and all that. But Allen Anchor is actually my second try doing it. The first time it didn't really take off.
Now, the first time, were you focused in the two-way world with it, or was it just in general? Here I
It
am.
was, it was kind of in general. However, I had an account on a pretty well-known firearm like discussion board, I guess you'd call it, online forum that was California centric. And I actually had advertised some decals and stuff on there. So I was making a lot of gun stuff even then, because like I was sticking them on my ammo cans and stuff, like stuff for me. And then guys at the range would be like, "Oh, hey, that's rad! I want one too." So I put them on the site, and then I'd sell a couple here or there, but I had so much going on with school and whatnot that uh, like a business just wasn't really in the books at that time. So I kind of packed the whole thing in, and then uh, I guess we'll say took like a 5-year hiatus.
So what did you do in that 5 years? Did you go back after the law stuff, or?
Yeah, I was going to school and all that jazz. So just kind of, I mean, I was still shooting and stuff. That was kind of a cool time in California because like it was the start of people liking guns outwardly in California, at least. Like, so like there was definitely a boom at the range. And like, I mean, so many people would see my decals because there would be more people at the range. So it was like, it was a cool time for guns in California.
It's really neat that you got to experience that too. Um, so what made you realize that you had this void in the market that made you go, "Oh, I need to start marketing towards two way"? Was it just somebody come in complaining the one day saying, "I can't get anybody to do this. Will you please do it?" Or was it a number of people coming in saying the same thing?
It was it was kind of a mix. So I was doing a lot of work for realtors, believe it or not, at the time, like a lot of graphic design stuff like that. And one of them that I had done tons and tons of business with asked me if I'd be willing to work with somebody in the firearm industry because they have a friend and like they're having a real hard time finding someone, and but because people are getting offended. But anyway, would I mind? So I was like, oh, that's cool. Whatever. I don't care. Because like to be honest, I don't give a fuck about anything really. Like if you're paying, that's all I really care about. So I mean, it could be something that I don't really agree with, but if you're like paying for me to do the service, then hey, it's all good. Um, so yeah,
I
I
mean,
was stoked. And then he, what turned out to actually be kind of a big-ish company, not like Smith and Wesson level or anything like that, but like we'll call him like a third tier or something. And
okay.
anyway, it kind of was like a word of mouth thing from there.
Sometimes that's the best way to get your name out there.
Yeah,
So,
it was tons of free advertising.
heck yeah, that's the best kind.
It sure is, yeah.
So before in the pre-chat, you mentioned Shot Show. Um, when was the first year you went to Shot Show? How did it go for you? What
The
made you
first
just
year, the first year I went to Shot Show was probably shit 2016 or 17 maybe. And it was the last Shot Show that I got to enjoy like as a spectator. Like I have fond memories of that Shot Show because it wasn't me. Like when I go to Shot Show, it's not fun. It's work. It's a lot of work because you're basically like running around talking to people, going to like parties, and I know it sounds like oh how fun, but like no, and like everyone's sick too, so that adds another layer to it. Um, but yeah, that was my last fun Shot Show, I guess. Shot Show as a spectator, and I always tell people that you got to go to Shot Show like once, even if you're not working it, just to like experience the beauty.
now? How did you first find out about Shot Show? Because I know until I really got deeper into the YouTube firearms community, I had no idea that Shot Show existed.
I knew about Shot Show a few years prior because I have a friend whose husband made gun stocks. Like he made what's it called when it's like that weird colored layer wood stuff?
Laminate?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he made that kind of stocks and stuff. So anyway, that's how I found out about Shot Show because he was all stoked to go one year, and I was like, "What the hell is this? What are you talking about?" And then he told me, and I was like, "Oh man, that sounds rad! Like I would totally go." And Vegas is only 4 hours from LA, and then I find out, it's industry only, and like, good luck finding someone to get you in.
Heck yeah. And if anybody out there listening is going, she said LA. That's not Louisiana. That's right. She is in California fighting the good fight. So, yet another reason to go support her business, what she's doing for 2A. Good stuff. Um, how has Shot Show helped your business grow? Is it worth the time and effort that you're exerting there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shot Show is great for my business actually because you're basically like selling beer to alcoholics at Shot Show because you're in a huge room where everyone is passing out swag and everyone has cooler swag than the person before them. You know who can make you some real cool swag for next year? Me. So it's very people already amped up. They're like, oh man, my patch has got to be better than Strike Industries patch was this year, or Hexmag or whoever. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, email me and we'll set something up. So they're already like, they're amped up. They want to go. It's also a good opportunity to just meet a whole bunch of people and make a whole bunch of contacts. Like, there's people that I do a lot of business with now that I met at SHOT Show, a few years ago or whatever. They ended up having a need, so they reached out because they remembered, meeting me at the block party or, the party at the taco bar or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, it's the networking at SHOT Show is really huge, especially for businesses. I'm not sure about for media. I mean, I imagine because you have the opportunity to meet so many people, so it's got to be pretty great there too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have not had the opportunity to go yet, and not going to have the opportunity to go this coming year. Maybe the year following, we'll see what happens, but definitely not this coming year. Are you going this year with all the COVID stuff going on? I have heard grumblings that it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I if SHOT Show is happening, I'm probably gonna go. I did the last SHOT Show that was allowed. I don't even know when that. Oh, 2020. Um, Owl and Anchor actually had a booth, so it was rad, and it was busy. But I would definitely be doing that again as well.
So, where do you get your ideas from for your designs? Anything that's a particular inspiration that you draw from?
It depends, really. I mean, a lot of stuff in the retail store is really it's current events. It's stuff in the news. Whatever like weird inappropriate joke I can make that month. Um, as far as like work for my clients, like we do. So Al Anchor does stickers, patches, all that. But we also do a lot of graphic design and marketing. So like a lot of business cards or mailers or things that are included in packaging. Um, we've had hands in that too. So it's really finding what works for the client and what like represents their business accurately, and something that makes you think of that brand, because after all, it's marketing.
For sure. So, uh, you just had a patch several months ago that was featured in a magazine, correct?
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about that.
How did that come about?
That came about, so that's an instance of SHOT Show being rad again. So the uh, the guy that runs, are we saying who was the magazine was? Is that allowed?
That's up to you.
I guess it's allowed.
Yeah,
It
why
was
not?
this magazine that the California Rifle and Pistol Association puts out, like kind of like I think it's bi-monthly or whatever. It's actually a pretty good read. If you're a member of the association, I think you get it automatically. But I had met Chuck, I think he's like the main guy or the second main guy, and he just told me he's a big fan of Alan Anchor, and he really likes that California patch, and we need to find something to do with it. We got to work together, like let's do it. So
It's
I
this one right
touched.
here, right?
Let me look.
I'm
Yes, it
pulling it up.
is.
That's what I thought.
It is that one, yeah.
Terrific.
Um, so yeah, they ended up writing an article, and I can't remember what the article was about now for the life of me. Oh, I think it was the correlation between magazine capacity limits and crime. Like they showed it doesn't really like do anything to affect crime or violence either way, so like it's stupid. Because as you know, here we have a 10-round law. So a huge picture of the patch was actually put in the magazine. So that was rad.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome. Sorry,
it
I thought I
even
was
said
muted there.
like Allen Anchor at the bottom and everything.
Did that help with sales and all that by chance, or didn't see much difference?
It did. It's a pretty popular publication. So I actually, so I'm in, I'm on Facebook like everyone else in the world. And I actually saw pictures of the magazine in some groups I'm in with people saying, hey, where do I get this patch? I mean, it totally said at the bottom of the page, but it was crazy to see, like, oh, damn, I made that. And, like, people actually want it.
Yeah,
But
that'd
I
be
had
pretty
to do
pretty cool feeling.
something. Uh, I had to do something for that patch because it was, Freedom Week was like the best week in California history.
Yes. So hopefully you'll have another one here soon, and hopefully it'll be permanent.
Hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed. It's it would be really cool. It'd be really rad, but you know how things go.
Let's say I know you have a lot of different patch designs over on owlandanchor.com, and that's owl like the bird and anchor, not owl like Bundy. Um, just because I think I have a tendency to say it a little fast sometimes. Apparently, it sounds like owl. So, but yes, that's owlandanchor.com. But over there, you have several patches that are parodies of the California state flag, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I think we have at least two.
And actually, you have a lot of different flag patch designs over there, whether they're just traditional American flag patches. Remember the Betsy Ross flag, D Tom flag. There's a good handful over there. Um, Now, majority of the stuff that I've seen is all PVC, but I do know that you recently got an embroidery machine. How's that been coming for you? Are you going to be doing more embroidered patches, or is that just something that's going to be kind of like a custom order basis?
It's going pretty good. Um, I haven't gotten a chance really to mess with it as much as I had hoped, because I had like a significant life change, so like my time got got low. So I'm hoping actually in the next few months to kind of buckle down and get some stuff on there. I really want to start doing short runs of stuff. Like I have all these like I call them like kind of funny ideas. So like, do I think I could sell like 50 of these things? No. But like there's at least two or three other idiots in the world, like besides me, because I'm a super idiot, that would be like, oh man, that's funny. I totally want that as a patch. So I'm hoping to bring that aspect because that's kind of what the embroidery machine was brought in for, was like, small runs and stuff. I've been doing some hats for a friend actually the last few days, which that's been pretty cool because I'm actually banging out full projects with it. So I might do some owl and anchor hats, but embroidered, like the PVC patch designs, but embroidered on a hat.
Okay, yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Um, I just had a question for you. Oh, so have you thought of doing any like subscriptions in a sense? Because I know that there's a ton of patches that you have, and it seems like every time I head over to the site, I will click on one of the, I guess you could call it a collection, like just the ones that say Owl and Anchor. And I'm like, it looks like there's a new one there, and I'm like, crap. Or the key tags. There for the longest time, I had all three key tags. I was like, sweet, I got them all. Then I went back there the one day, and you added like 10 more. I was like, son of a gun.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's more key tags coming. I actually have like two or three more designs on the way.
Yeah, every time I hear you say something like that, my bank account just goes,
Yeah, like do it again, seriously.
I can't keep up. cannot keep up. It's not a bad thing though, to say, because it keeps me coming back to the site, looking for more stuff, and I mean, there's so much good stuff over there. And the best part is, for anybody listening that hasn't picked up yet, Angelina likes to be inappropriate, so it's not like it's just your typical shall not be infringed blase patch. I mean, there's I believe a "Don't Tread on Me" flag that says "Fuck around, find out." There's a Twisted Tea patch. Which, are you sold out of those? I don't remember.
You know, I'm either sold out or I got like 2 left.
But the Twisted Tea patch says, I believe, says something with the F word. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff. One of the key tags is pro gun as fuck. A lot of stuff with the F word, which we're not afraid to use on any of my shows. And that's another thing that just makes Angelina so awesome, is her inappropriateness.
Yeah, I mean, I try to limit, because like I've said some real fucked up shit before, but we're not afraid to make a joke at Owl and Anchor. We're not afraid to have a good time or whatever. So, the fuck around and find out patch is a real good seller. That's that's one of the top patches, and actually, you can find that patch in probably about 10 to 15 gun stores around the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I should probably try and get my LGS turned on to you. Seems like recently he's been just kind of getting other things in the shop that aren't guns. Recently, he started with some knives and just random stuff. He might have an interest in doing not doing his own patches. He might, for all I know, but just something else to have on the counter to sell. So I'll have to turn him your way.
Yeah, I mean, like I always tell, everyone I talk to, basically in a work capacity, is patches, stickers, decals, anything like that, flags. It's an untapped revenue stream, basically, and it's like people are paying you to market their business, or to market your business. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing I don't see around here a whole lot, is vehicles driving around, with local gun shops decal on their back window or something. Um, I know I used to see it, but it's not something I see very often anymore. It, have you reached out to any local shops to try and say, hey, have you thought about this, or is it just you wait for them to come to you?
It really depends, like, on my level of busy at the time. I am partnered up with a bunch of local shops around my area. A bunch that they just know me because I've been a customer or whatever, and I walk in there with like a bunch of patches on my backpack, and then finally they're like, "Where'd you get those from?" And then Alan Anchor comes up, and sometimes they've even heard of Alan Anchor before, and they're surprised that, like, usually what I get is, "Wow, I can't believe a chick makes all that shit," because like the inappropriateness and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I work with a bunch of people around here, a bunch of just random gun shops through the nation. And I help them with marketing too. I mean, I get customers that come to me and say, hey, I need to bring more people in here. I need something cool. Like, what could I do to make my logo look cool? Or, what should we put on this flyer? How do we lay it out? Or even, hey, this is our new product. We need packaging. What do you think would look good? And then, kind of going from there. So it's an interesting look into the ins and outs of gun shops and I guess what would you suppliers? I don't know, people that make the shit you put on guns, stuff like that.
For sure. So, going back to what I mentioned before, have you thought about doing like a subscription service where just on a monthly basis, for X amount of dollars, people just get a couple random patches each month?
Oh yeah, so this has totally come up, and it was actually like almost a thing, like an official, real, like we're hitting the go button thing. And then the pandemic happened, which like basically hit the brakes on all kinds of supply chains. Like, especially for what I do, like you wouldn't believe how often something completely random is like, yeah, there's none of this anymore for right now. It's not happening. So, one of those things that pops up a lot is Velcro, believe it or not. I have no idea why, but sometimes it can be 2 weeks before Velcro kind of comes back into play. So, because of the delays and stuff like that, I elected to kind of wait until the world stabilized a little bit. I mean, whenever the hell that's going to be. Because people, when they're expecting that patch to be sent out on the 15th of the month, they want that patch sent out on the 15th of the month. So it's like, I don't want to get into this thing where I'm constantly like, yeah, there's no Velcro. We're delayed for 2 weeks. See you guys later. So as soon as whatever the fuck this is done, I'm hoping to actually make that like a real thing. I think it'd be really cool.
I think it'd be awesome. Say any probably a terrible time to ask this question, but any idea what you had in mind for a price point for that? Do you want to call it a subscription box?
Yeah, so we were gonna do I think we were gonna do $15. And then well, there's gonna be two things. Okay, so there's gonna be, the mystery.
All right, so she just dropped out. Hopefully, she'll be right back. I do know that she had a new puppy. I shouldn't say had, has a new puppy. There she is. Let's say, did the new puppy get you? Let's say, because.
No, I think that was me. That was like
Okay.
my dumbassery. Um, so back to what I was saying, which was, oh, the whole mystery patch thing.
Yep. Which is
So that
awesome.
was gonna be. I've held back a lot of the real cool ones because I really still want to do this. So the mystery patch is gonna be a thing where you subscribe, and every month you're gonna get this patch that can only be gotten if you are part of the subscription service. Like, even if there's some leftover extra, you can't buy them. You have to be a member of the Patch Club, which is why it was called Patch Club.
Yep.
So there was that, and then we're also going to do, and I'm actually still going to do this, so this is kind of like the first time someone other than Eric knows about this, is grab bags. So like monthly, we're going to do maybe like 5 to 10 grab bags of just like some new shit, but also like super rare shit that was stuff that either got made on accident, weird colorways. Cause like, if you see a black and yellow patch, most likely it didn't start that way. It was probably like orange and black or red and black or whatever. And I had played with the color. So there will be a couple like duds kind of that are weird colorways that like there's just one of this patch that exists. I don't even have one. Like this is the only one. So it was going to be random shit like that, a bunch of like random stickers, super secret key tags, all the like cool stuff that doesn't get to be shown on the internet all the time. So that we're actually still going to do, but the subscription thing, we're hoping that, I don't know, hoping the world evens out a little bit because I really want to do that one.
Heck yeah. By the way, if you want to screen share again, you're more than welcome to. Um, Now, I know some of your patches are kind of time sensitive, like that Twisted Tea one. Obviously, when you made that, you needed to capitalize on the popularity of that video.
Right.
So, with the pandemic happening, how risky is it to try and make a design like that and get the patch, knowing that with supply chains messed up the way they are, that and then trying to get stuff into the country and whatnot, because you do overseas, right?
Yeah, well, so PVC patches, most people don't know this, but there you actually cannot uh, really manufacture them, at least not what people are used to seeing in the United States. Like it's a
Yeah,
whole EPA thing. They don't want it to happen, don't even think about it type thing. Um, but I don't use China. So that always throws people through a loop because most of that stuff comes out of China. I don't really like to support China myself, so um, we put a lot of time, energy, money, and whatever else into basically getting something going somewhere else. So um, yeah, no made in China at Allen Anchor.
it's terrific, and say that right there is going to be a selling point for you. And it's funny because I have talked to people about patches, and you're like, oh, I'm looking for somebody that does them, and I'm like, go check out allenacre.com, and they'll be like, do they make them in the U.S.? I'm like, you're not going to find anybody to make a PVC patch in the U.S.
Yeah, you just I mean, it really sucks, and like, I'm the first one to say I would love to like get one of those patch robots like in my shop and do that myself, but it's just not happening.
That's a lot of nasty chemicals and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I think there's actually like a compound in the PVC that's like a I don't know. I don't know what it is that it's illegal, but I do know that because you can get PVC patches made in the United States, but whatever it is that's illegal somewhere else is replaced with something made from corn syrup here. So they look like a PVC patch in that they're rubber and Velcro, but they smell fucking horrible and they look
Mm,
terrible. Like they smell like chemicals forever. If you have one
yes.
on your wall, you will smell it like for a year. It's ridiculous.
I think I've had one of those. I took it out of the little plastic uh, sheeting that it came in. And I was like, oh my gosh, this smells like just spray paint. I'm not even sure if it was spray paint that I should describe it as, because I think spray paint had a more pleasant smell. It was almost like a paint thinner mixed with ammonia. It was a funky smell, and I mean it was very pungent.
Yeah, it's like it's weird and you can smell it for like a year type. It's crazy. I've had some of those because people do get them made, and they're the thing that's sad about them is, it's cool, made in America, but they smell so bad, and then they look so bad and they're expensive.
Yeah,
It's kind of like shit. No one's winning on this.
yeah. As I say, and that's one thing I've never gotten to talk to you about is the patches that could be made in the U.S. As far as PVC ones go, uh, because I've never known that about the ones made in the U.S. Having that smell, and like I said, that explains that one patch that I've gotten before. So
Yeah, there's some people have them. Like uh, I got one at SHOT Show, and as soon as it was handed to me, I was like, "Oh yeah, I could smell that thing through the bag."
yeah, they're pretty gnarly. Um, so we've been kind of focusing on patches here. Probably more my fault because uh, as a lot of viewers who are not new to my channel would know, I'm a bit of a patch addict. However, if you were to see the patch collection that Angelina has, it's incredible. But that's something that I imagine that you just kind of end up with, isn't it? I mean, being in that business.
Yeah, I mean a lot of those patches on the wall of shame, I guess we'll call it, um, are ones that we made. So like I usually, as we're going through them, I throw one up on the wall. Um, a lot of them are actually given to me too. So I have a lot of like, like my cop friends will give me one of their like cop patches or something. Um, so it's a lot of friend patches too, I guess we'll call it. And then, SHOT Show because patches, that's what happens there. But also, a bunch of friends and stuff like that. So if you, there's always something new to see on that board. That's the easy way to describe it.
Definitely. So, as I was saying, obviously we've been focusing on patches, but I don't want to gloss over, things like stickers because that's probably, as far as advertising for somebody's business or just a channel like my YouTube channel, is probably a more cost-effective means of getting something to hand out to customers or viewers and whatnot. I'd imagine, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, stickers are an amazing way to advertise like pretty much anything at a way more cost effective rate. Like patches are rad. If you're selling patches, even better. But stickers, I mean, depending on the kind you get, you can hand those things out for days for a couple bucks.
So, do you make the stickers in house or do you outsource those as well?
Oh, the stickers are printed in house.
Okay. Now, is there anything special about your stickers that make them, you know, better than everybody else's? Higher quality, different materials.
Uh, yeah, so we use we have two types of stickers. Um, Vinyl stickers. I guess we have three types of stickers. Die cut decals, uh, full printed color stickers, and 70-pound paper stickers. So the 70-pound paper stickers are like, those are marketing gold. Like, they start at 500. You can hand those things out all day. Um, Made here in America, not only America but LA, which is like extra special, I guess. I guess depending on who you ask. Um, but yeah, they're pretty cool. They're good to give out. Our vinyl stickers, though, are like the show stealer because they are like, if you want to sell these stickers, these are the ones people sell. They'll last outside for like 5 or 6 years. We cover them with a laminate made in America. I think the vinyl's made in Germany, but that's like, what are you gonna do about that? That's just where they make that shit. Um, but yeah, it's a high quality sticker, and then the die cut decals, the single color stuff. We use a higher quality of vinyl than most people use because again, like I think I mentioned, these are like marketing tools for your business, your channel, or whatever. You want this stuff to last. Like you want your customer to throw that up on their like truck toolbox window, and that'll be there for 4 years, driving around advertising your business and looking good. Why wouldn't you want to represent your business with quality?
Absolutely. So, the key tags. I know we talked about this before. You're thinking about starting to make those in house. Now, not having the chance to mess with the new embroidery machine as much as you'd like, how far out do you see that idea, or is it something that's just going to be put on the back burner for even longer than you anticipated?
I'm hoping to get the key tags in house going in the next like 3 months. There's a piece of equipment. I think I was telling you guys about it that I got to get to kind of, because if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. So I need to grab a piece of equipment. It's kind of hard finding one that's not $1 million, but also works real good. So that's my current, keeping an eye out type thing. But as soon as I have that, I would kind of be flying on it. I have everything else. Um, I'm hopefully ready to roll on that. And that'll be rad because, like, you can make custom one-off key tags, so they can say pretty much anything.
Heck yeah. Now, earlier you mentioned flags. Do you get a lot of requests to do flags? Um, what is that like, getting a custom flag made?
We get a ton of requests for the custom flags, and what it is a lot of the time is so when you go to a gun shop and they have like a Glock flag or banner on the wall, or a Smith and Wesson banner flagger on the wall, stuff like that, or like a magpul. Um, we do a lot of stuff like that. So somebody will buy 300 flags from us, and they're actually shipping them to their dealers, stuff like that. So that's a pretty good chunk of business for us. Making a flag is kind of easy, but kind of not. That flag behind you, I made that one.
Yep. That's why I turned on the camera again.
Oh, yeah, that goes. Um, so yeah, they're sublimated, giant printers basically, um, and they're rad. They're one of the biggest things. Like I said, you see them. Like I've gone into all kinds of shops all over the country and seen flags that I've made, representing a business or whatever. So just another thing, we make every product that leaves my shop is something that I would represent my own business with. So, you get quality shit when you go to Allen Anchor.
Absolutely. What kind of turnaround time do you have on a flag?
About 10 days.
Really, I did not think it would be that quick. That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of it is pretty much just because we don't run like one flag at a time. So the flags go pretty quick. It's easier if you're doing a couple flags at a time or something like that. So a lot of the wait is just because they're waiting for another order to come in.
Okay, which makes
But
sense.
yeah, but we get pretty people ordering a couple hundred or something for dealers pretty often. So we're doing a couple pretty major flag runs through the month. So usually you don't have to wait that long.
Awesome. All right. So, if it's all right with you, I'd like to veer away from the business towards the end of the show here and touch a little bit on just being a firearms owner in California, how it is for you. Have you lived anywhere else where you've gotten to experience anything different, or is it, just is it what you know?
I have seen freedom in other states in shortish term capacities. So, I know it definitely gets better than this. But, and I know this is kind of like fucked up to say, being a gun owner in California, like, isn't that bad. Like, it's not as bad as people say. Are we infringed upon? Fuck yes. Like, are these laws fucking stupid as shit? Fuck yeah. Um, it is this 10-day wait period like dumb. Hell yes. But it's not really like the you can never own anything that people make it out to be. And like there's a lot of like freedom lovers in California. Like I know a ton of people that are proud fire owners, proud firearm owners here, and I've been told that people like this do not exist in California. So, uh, I mean, I won't go into the politics of California, but I think that we got some weird shit going on. So, I think the majority is probably freedom minded.
Heck yeah. Have you ever had a politician reach out to you, to get anything done, stickers, patches, perhaps a flag, whether it just be for their own personal use or maybe even something to, you know, egg on a colleague?
Um, yeah, I've done a little bit of personal work uh, for a politician whose like name everyone would probably recognize, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I kind of figured you wouldn't be able to name drop, which is quite all right.
But it
So
was, it was cool.
nice. Do you have a favorite piece of work that you have done where every time you just look at it, you're like, I love this, whether it's a patch, flag, banner, etc.?
You know what? Actually, yeah, and it's gonna be the California Mag Patch. Like, I thought it looked so rad that like California was a magazine with like the follower in there and everything. Like, I was like, even though it was like kind of like a simple idea, I was like, man, this turned out fucking rad. The other one is probably my join or die AR-15 flag. Yeah, there it is. The mag patch.
I said, I'm not sure if I have seen the AR-15, or, oh, you said the joiner dial one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, which is another great one. In addition, folks, if you're not wanting to be so overt with your two-wayness and you still want to support, a good two-way business like this, she does have other things on the site. Like there's one that looks like a gas gauge, and it's empty or full, and just how many fucks are given, something to that effect. A lot of good stuff. It doesn't just have to be gun related. So you got a family member or something that you need an awesome gift for. A lot of good stuff over there. So we have come to that point in the show, Angelina, where I'm gonna just give you that little barrage of questions that people on Amphi had come up with that one night. So it seems like one of the favorites everybody likes to know is top 5 guns. So this can be your top 5 favorites, maybe top 5 that you think are great for new firearms owners, maybe a top 5 for just being a Californian.
All right, I could do that. All right, top five. I'm gonna do top five in general, like top five my faves.
Heck yeah.
Uh, all right, I'm gonna go boring, like boring as shit, and say a Glock 19. That was my favorite carry. It's changed now to a 43X, but the 19 will always have a very, very top tier place in my heart, or just the 19. Sorry. Um, Second, I'm gonna say an SKS. I'm talking
Awesome.
like a Russian Tula though, like a late 40s Tula SKS. Um, then I'm gonna say a Sten gun. Then I want to say an infield, but I feel like I already said a Sten, so I can't have too many English guns. That's very unpatriotic of me. So I won't say the Enfield, but oh, okay. So I have this. It's called a Sportsmaster 341, I think. It's a Remington 22 bolt action, like tube fed bolt action. Um, it's got sights on it like a Red Ryder, so it's like really sad. It's the best shooting bolt action 22 I've ever shot. This thing is like a tack driver. It's amazing. So that's definitely one of my favorite firearms. Um,
That was 4, so this would be number 5. I mean,
yeah,
you
this
can
will be
give more than 5 if you want.
shit. What would I pick for five? Shit, I don't know. Um, oh, a Tommy gun, but
Oh, all right.
not the like M1A1 whatever, the other one. The like drum
Yep.
fit gangster one. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
That other
No,
one, the have you ever shot a Tommy gun?
I have not. Back years ago when I worked at Dunham's, we'd always have one or two in the case, and I hated having them because we'd have customers that would be like, "I want to see that." I'm like, "It's $1,500. Are you going to give me $1,500 in about a half hour?" Because if not, I really don't feel like getting this thing out of the case. I never said that. It would go through my head because it's like 16 pounds. It's obnoxious.
Yeah. Shooting them. So I one like shot show. I got invited to this thing at what the fuck was it called? One of those Vegas full auto ranges. So we go and they're like, "Oh, you can shoot a Thompson." So I was so stoked because I thought they meant the other one, which I've shot before and I really like. So the whole time, like the drive over, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do some rounds to the Thompson. It's gonna be a great day." You know, we could shoot all other kind of stuff, but I didn't care. I just wanted to shoot the Thompson. So we get in, you know, it's my turn. They're handing shit out. We're just kind of cycling and shooting. Everything's like, yeah, I've shot this before, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was like, all right, so where's the Thompson? Bring it out. Let's do it. Let's do it. And they fucking bring out the M1A1 whatever version. And I was like, dude, what the hell's this? So that thing is so annoying to shoot because the stock is weird. You really got to hip fire that bitch, but they don't want you to because, you know, you're in a
Yep.
range with a bunch of people. So it was shitty. It kept fucking jamming. It was depressing. They wouldn't even let me like be the one to like load it and rack it for like, you know, liability reasons. So
Yep.
anyway, that was lame.
I was almost expecting you to say BAR.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty cool, but that would probably be like my 10th favorite.
Wow. Let's say if I can ever manage to get you on here again, we might have to do that list again just to see what the other top 5 would be then if the BAR is falling in number 10. Um, worse, earlier you mentioned having people say, "Oh, really? This is a girl that makes these things?" Um, I I guess I should ask. Did you take that as a compliment or kind of derogatory?
Um, I mean, I don't really like offend easy, so I just kind of laughed it off. But like that kind of attitude, like with chicks and guns and stuff, I mean, that's everywhere. Uh, I run into that like all the time. Like I kind of hate going to gun shops unless I know where I'm going because you get some weird shit like that. That even happened to me at Cabela's recently. I think it was either Cabela's or Bass Pro. Aren't they like the same thing now?
Yeah. Well, they're owned by the same parent company. But
Yeah, so we were looking at the ammo. I was on a road trip, and they have this pack of HSTs there, like 9mm HSTs. So I asked, hey, how much are those HSTs? And the guy tells me, and then he goes on to explain about how they're hollow points. And I was just like, I was so pissed off by it. I was like, yeah, I fucking saw that. Thank you. And then just like walked away because he was going to mansplain me like hollow points.
so that will lead us into the next question. What's the worst experience that you've had as a firearms owner slash female firearms owner, whether it be remarks somebody's made, perhaps mansplaining, as what happened there at Bass Pro, or just an overall terrible question you were asked?
Um, I don't know if it's ever really like super terrible. It's a lot of times it's just like pretty comical. But one time I went with my cousin, and we decided to go by our local range. It was actually Angela's shooting range, if anyone is like from LA and knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, they had this really cool clay throwing machine, and we had a Mossberg 500, like a home defense version, so like not even with a long barrel or anything. Like it was pathetic. So we wanted to clay shoot because we like doing that. All we had was this Mossberg and like a pack of fucking birdshot. So we go over, we're setting up, and these guys come over and they're like, hey, do you know how to shoot that thing? To me. And I'm like, oh no, it's my first time. Because, like, why are you talking to me? I don't know you.
Yep.
So they're like, oh, we can show you how to shoot. We can, we'll help you out. Do you want lessons? And like, they're going like that route and shit. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Now I'll just figure it out, playing it off. And my cousin comes over finally because he sees him talking to me. And he's like, she doesn't need help with that, like, leave her alone type thing. So these guys are hovering around, and one of the guys is, he's basically trying to give me tips. And like, we haven't even started shooting yet. We're just like loading stuff up, getting situated, all that. So he's giving me tips, whatever. And finally I go to shoot and I nail like probably like 10 out of 12 plays type thing. And the guy's like, wow, you've never done this before? That's crazy. And I was just like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Get away from me.
Clearly, somebody didn't pick up on sarcasm.
Yeah, like he was totally, I mean, it was funny because he kept giving me these hints. And then when it was his turn to shoot, I've never seen worse clay shooting in my life. And he had an over under, probably like a Stoger or something like that. So he was, ready to shoot clays, and he just fucking sucked at it. But, wanted to give me uh, tips and tricks, which I'm sure he was just being nice. But,
So, were you deep into Owl and Anchor at that time?
no, I wasn't. That was, I would say, the hiatus between the first and second Alan anchoring.
Okay. Let's say, because it would have been really entertaining if you could have just gave him a business card at that point and said, go check me out sometime.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes and, is like, oh, well, she's really pro gun.
I mean, I was like when I go to the range and you see like I see my patches on people's bags and stuff, or like my stickers on their rifle cases.
You ever just mention, hey, I made that to any of them, or just kind of admire that it's there and just go about your day?
No, I'm so awkward in real life that like I'd be like too like, because like if someone did that to me, I'd be like, why the fuck do you think I even care? So I just assume everybody's like that. So I would never, go up to someone and be like, hey, I made that, because I would think they'd be like, yeah, who gives a fuck? But like I've had people say to me like, oh, that's a super cool patch. You know, I got that one too. Do you follow Alan Anchor? Like, yeah, they're pretty cool. And they just have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be a great way to get some honest feedback. Just go up and be like, hey, where'd you get that? What do you think of it? And get their honest thoughts without them knowing. And if they say something like, hey, do you follow Alan Anchor or something? Whip out a business card, be like, yeah, I run the place. Thanks.
Yeah, it's all me.
So, any two-way activists or advocates that you look up to?
Um, yeah, actually, well, I think pretty much anyone that is willing to invest any of their time or resources or just energy in general, like to the cause of guns, because I honestly feel from a legal standpoint, I mean, people will say the Second Amendment guards the first or whatever it is, like that whole thing. There's some truth to that. So I honestly feel like anybody that does anything with their voice to kind of help guns in any way, I mean, there's something really to admire there, because most people, they hear gun and they're just fucking out. Like, they don't care what you have to say. They're not even listening to it, because when they were in second grade, the DARE officer came and told them that guns were bad. So guns are just bad, and that's all we do. Um, so yeah, I mean, I really admire anyone that goes to bat for fucking guns, or like spends any of their time advocating for guns or gun rights or anything like that. Cheryl Todd is one of my personal favorites, just because she's such like a sweet lady. That
Yes.
yeah, like she also says polka dots are my camo. Like, that's like such a cool attitude to have, and like, you'd probably never suspect that she's a gun-toting lady, but here she is, kicking ass and taking names all day, basically. Um, who else? Oh, Richard Heller. I met him at SHOT Show, actually. And it was super awesome to talk about guns with, someone that actually brought a lawsuit on, um, and won. So yeah, that was I would say he's probably like an activist I look up to. And also G-Webs. I think G-Webs like is the most consistent person in the fight, that's like a normal, approachable person that you can be like, hey dude, what do you think about this? And get some feedback.
Yeah, and the nice thing about G, he doesn't pull any punches. He doesn't give a shit. He's just gonna say that's awesome or that sucks ass. That's dumb. Why would you think that?
Yeah, very true.
And it's funny that you mention Dick Heller and then mention G Webs, because I remember the one night, I think it was on Daily Gun Show, which I do that ripoff of Daily Gun Show called Almost Nightly Firearms Expo, which you're making a graphic for right now. But he had Dick Heller had jumped in on that the one night. I'm pretty sure it was DGS, and there's the brief conversation with him. It was more so just sitting back and listening to him and G, because he's one of the guys that got G Webs into it, so it was really cool to see that transpire. So definitely some great choices there.
Yeah, you got to keep up with the pros.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, we are actually just a little over the hour mark. So I'm going to give you the closing words here. Anything that you want to plug, any upcoming events or anything like that, any patch ideas that you want to throw out there at people, or just promote yourself, whatever it is, the floor is yours.
Um, yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me on here to talk about Owl and Anchor and all the weird shit we do. It's a nice time. And yeah, buy things from gearwebsites.com. Also support your local gun shop because shit's fucking crazy and small businesses are where it's at right now. Support small business in general. You can avoid the Amazons or the Walmarts or anything like that and hit up some small little place in your town. Even if it's going to Joe's Diner instead of McDonald's, you should totally do that. And if you want to buy some rad stickers and patches and shit like that, shop at allenanchor.com. And if you want custom patches, you know where to go.
Definitely. And not just custom patches, custom stickers, flags, I mean, custom work in general. Go to allenanchor.com. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Angelina. I really do appreciate you taking the time to come on here and everything that you've been doing. Like I said, really do appreciate it. So, with that, I'm going to roll the outro, which normally the outro is also the intro, but I'm going to roll the outro that I normally run on Almost Nightly Firearms Expo. So, until next time, hopefully we'll catch you guys next Wednesday with another episode of yes, I messed that up. And best part is, this is a recording that I don't edit, so everybody's going to hear it. So until next time, we'll see you next Wednesday for Two-Way Women Wednesday.
We would like to say thank you to owlandanchor.com for great two-way items like these. Go to owlandanchor.com and place an order today. We'd also like to say thank you to gearwebsites.com, yet another great two-way website. Go over to gearwebsites.com, pick up more great two-way items as you see here. And as always, please remember, I'm two-ayer than you. Dadgummit, Billy Bob, I told you to stay out of this. Now I don't remember what I was telling the people.